Summer break is officially over this week for Rochester Public School students. Today marks day one of class for the first wave of RPS kids. KIMT News 3's Jessica Bringy spoke to Superintendent Kent Pickell about the new school year. And Jessica, what's different compared to past years?
Amy, one of the biggest differences is here at Mayo High School, where ninth graders are taking over the building for the first time by themselves today. It's in an effort to make them more comfortable and help them learn the layout of the facility before upperclassmen join them tomorrow. Superintendent Pickell says as we continue through the pandemic, the district is learning the school environment and operations need to evolve. Dr. Pickell says the district has a lot of optimism coming into this school year, but staff are also trying to be realistic about implementing changes. Part of doing that is trying new operations like bringing in freshman students a day earlier than upperclassmen.
This is one of a number of things that we're trying to do to make sure that we start with really strong positive cultures in which every kid feels they belong, in which we also set out some expectations for behavior. And so we haven't done it this way in the past at the high school level in particular. And so we'll be taking a careful look at whether or not this is a strategy we want to stick with in the future, but we figured it was a good thing to do for the start of this new school year.
Today, elementary school students are doing Step into Learning. It's been a program that's around for about 3 years. It does allow parents to come in and meet with teachers. However, the district will be looking for feedback to see if it's something that works and should continue in the future. Live in Rochester, Jessica Bringy, KIMT News 3.
Thank you, Jessica. RPS says it's also launching its new strategic plan with a whole new approach to school improvement, goals, data, and plans this year. Later this September, Superintendent Pickell says changes will be implemented to the district on a system level. We have new information regarding a story we first brought you this weekend. KIMT is learning more about a Mason City bow and arrow attack Friday night and what happened shortly after. Casey Larson is in the Cerro Gordo County Jail on an attempted murder charge after a Friday night attack in the 100 block of 1st Street Northwest. According to court documents, Larson shot a woman in the abdomen with a hunting bow and arrow. Larson then chased the woman with a large knife until help arrived. He then told police that he intended to kill the woman, according to the criminal complaint. Authorities stop a 16-year-old boy in Olmsted County for going 107 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone last week. The Olmsted County Sheriff's Office says he was likely under the influence. The teen is facing multiple charges, including 4th-degree DWI and drug possession. He told deputies he knew his vehicle could reach 112 miles per hour and said he felt the song after it came on the radio. Crews are now getting ready to start highway paving work in southeast Rochester on Highway 14. The paving is expected to start over the next couple of weeks. MnDOT says you should expect lane closures and traffic delays during busy morning and afternoon drive times. Slower traffic flow should be expected in each direction on Rochester's east side between Broadway and Olmsted County Road 22 near Rochester Community and Technical College. MnDOT says there are ways you can improve the flow of traffic, including using a zipper merge. Officials also advise you go hands-free to minimize distractions, follow posted speed signs, and avoid making lane changes in work zones. Happening today, the trial of a man accused of shooting 3 people and causing an 8-hour standoff in Albert Lee begins. 32-year-old Devin Whelan has pleaded not guilty to 6 charges, including 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of second-degree assault. Here's a look at the location of the high-stakes standoff. Whelan was arrested in November of 2020 after he allegedly fired between 70 and 95 shots, wounding a police officer and 2 other people. Albert Lee police say Whelan was found on the 3rd floor of Shady Oaks Apartments and surrendered after he was shot and received a non-life-threatening head wound. According to court documents, his trial begins today and is scheduled to last until September 16th. New today, a man threatens law enforcement after being accused of pointing a gun at another driver in Olmsted County. Early Sunday morning, Lucas Weiner was arrested after someone said he was pointing a gun near West River Road and 62nd Street Northwest. Weiner, who had a strong odor of alcohol, was arrested and began kicking and yelling at law enforcement. Once at the jail, he took off his pants and said he would send, quote, gangbangers to the house of law enforcement to rape their wives and kids. He's facing multiple DWI charges and felony threats of violence. Coming up, students in Uvalde, Texas return to school on an emotional first day back. We'll show you how one organization is helping students cope with a difficult return to the classroom. And later, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz celebrated the first day of school with students this morning. We'll share his message for students and parents this fall. Plus, a man accused of killing a Tennessee teacher who was out jogging makes his first court appearance. We'll have more on what other prominent kidnapping he was part of over 2 decades ago.
KIMT News 3, first at 4. Your local news with KIMT News 3's Amy Fleming. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox. This is KIMT News 3. More local news that is happening right now. We are coverage you can count on.
Investigators say the body found yesterday near the University of Memphis is 34-year-old Eliza Fletcher. The teacher and mother of 2 was jogging Friday morning when police say a man forced her into a black SUV. The man suspected in her kidnapping and death was in court today. Elise Preston reports from Memphis.
At his first court appearance, 38-year-old Cleotha Abston was formally charged with kidnapping 34-year-old Eliza Fletcher. And now he faces murder charges. Just hours earlier, investigators confirmed the body found in a Memphis neighborhood was Fletcher, a teacher and mother of 2.
To lose someone so young and so vital is a tragedy in and of itself, but to have it happen in this way with a senseless act of violence, it's unimaginable.
Local, state, and federal authorities had been searching for Fletcher since Friday morning, when police say she was violently grabbed and forced into an SUV while she was out jogging. This surveillance photo captured her previously last known whereabouts. Nearby, police found her broken cell phone and sandals with the suspect's DNA. He was arrested Saturday. Authorities found Fletcher's body in the back of a vacant apartment here in South Memphis. It's also near where the suspect was spotted cleaning out an SUV.
Repeat violent offenders particularly deserve a strong response, and that's what they'll get from this district attorney's office.
22 years ago, Abston kidnapped a prominent Memphis attorney who was able to escape. Abston was sentenced to 24 years in prison, but released early in 2020. Fletcher was also from a prominent Memphis family, the granddaughter of a global hardware supplier. The family had offered $50,000 for her safe return. Elise Preston, CBS News, Memphis, Tennessee.
Abston will be back in court tomorrow morning to face new charges of murder.
New COVID vaccines will be available for a majority of Americans by the end of the week. I'm Dan Lieberman with what the rollout looks like.
And things definitely looked a little different this morning over Rochester, but the clouds have cleared for the most part, allowing the sunshine to shine through. And boy, has it. It's going to continue through the week. I'll let you know just how warm it'll help us get coming up.
Students in Uvalde, Texas went back to school earlier today, but unlike most places in the country, it was not a joyous first day back. Students and staff are still grieving after a deadly shooting at Robb Elementary in May. Extra security, including high fencing, has been added for student safety. So to help kids cope, therapy dogs also headed for the classrooms. It was a small gesture to help them feel more comfortable and at ease on a day that might be scary for some.
We're trained to be quiet. We don't want to do a lot of talking. We want them to interact with the dog and to feel what the dog can help them through their emotions. We've had kids start talking for the first time to a dog. They don't want to talk to mom or dad or a counselor. So the dogs bring out the kids' emotions and the parents' emotions. So we just practice on being present and quiet.
A Texas Department of Public Safety officer and several police patrol were also seen patrolling around the Benson Educational Complex.
We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox joining us now as summer heat and humidity remain here after Labor Day. Sarah, what are you tracking as we move through the rest of the week?
Yeah, Amy, I've been saying it. Summer still has a lot to give to us, and as we head through the rest of the week, we have some very summer-like days definitely headed our way, especially for tomorrow and Thursday. Before we talk about that, though, let's go back in time. This is around 10:15 in the morning over Austin, starting to see some evidence of the sunshine, but still plenty of the cloud cover. But when we push time forward, get those mostly cloudy skies, but then they begin to break up very slowly here as we head through the afternoon. But certainly as we head now to current time, we are getting that beautiful blue sky and of course the clouds breaking up. You'll notice it's a little milky. That's because we were tracking some smoke way off in the distance, wildfire smoke. It is pretty high up in the atmosphere, but it will be affecting us here shortly. We're going to be talking about that here in just a moment. But first, the current temperatures with that sunshine out and about really allowing for us to warm up today. Austin at 79 degrees alongside Owatonna, almost at that 80-degree mark. 77 in Rochester, 78 in Mason City. We got a solid 77 in Albert Lea, and you can see that is the difference from where we were just 24 hours ago. Up 7 degrees in Owatonna, 5 in Charles City as well as Austin. Albert Lea added to the list. We're all seeing pluses across the board here. So that sunshine really does make a difference. So do the winds from the south, kind of helping to bring in some of that warmer southern air. Now the satellite and radar here really showing off that cloud cover disappearing. We're still seeing plenty of clouds in some areas, more on the partly cloudy side, but a lot of us are seeing mostly sunny skies to go along with it versus say the mostly cloudy. Things looking good though on satellite and radar. I'll zoom things out. We're not the only ones enjoying the clearer skies, of course, plenty of the sunshine to be found once again here across the upper Midwest. Now let's talk a little bit about the wildfire smoke. We've got plenty of fires going on, especially in the northwest there, and keeping an eye on those, of course, because they're bringing the smoke, again, way high up, but still definitely makes a difference. We'll zoom into our area a little bit. Not too bad today, but as we tick time forward, we'll start to see that orange, yellow, red starting to move our way. This is 6 a.m. on Thursday, and it does look to stick with us here as we head into our later Thursday and even a bit into Friday. So that is something to keep in mind when it comes to air quality. We're in the green right now, but we could see it turn into the yellow as we head through the week. Sky Tracker 3 now paying attention to clouds that are a little closer to the ground, but not necessarily there. As we head later into the day, that's when the clouds clear out. We're back to mostly clear skies for tonight. Lows will be falling into the 60s, right around that 60-degree mark to be exact. As we head into our Wednesday, still get the southern winds. This is around 2 a.m. Still clear out there, but we do have that possibility for some more clouds building, even a little bit of fog once again for our Wednesday morning. This is around 7 a.m., but just like today, give it some time. A lot of that clears out by the time we head into the afternoon, and here we are right around lunchtime, looking at more sunshine to help really warm us up. There are also rain chances in the forecast, a lot going on. Those do start to come as we head into the weekend. Friday night into Saturday, that's when we start to see the chance for some scattered showers. But tonight, mostly clear skies, right near that 60-degree mark. Tomorrow, back into the 80s we go, and you'll see it here on the 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view. With the rain chances coming this weekend, check out the highs. Temperatures falling into the upper 60s, making for a very fall-like weekend, but then we steadily warm back up heading into the next work week. Amy.
Thank you, Sarah. Authorities arrest 2 teens yesterday morning after they say one of them pointed a gun at someone and demanded money. The Olmsted County Sheriff's Office says a man went outside in the 3000 block of 18th Avenue Southwest and was told to empty his pockets while a gun was pointed at him. A short time later, the vehicle and a handgun was found about a block away. The gun was reported stolen from Owatonna last year. The White House COVID-19 response team says the U.S. has reached what it calls a major milestone in the pandemic, updated vaccines that match the version of the virus that is currently spreading. It comes as the CDC says there are still an average of about 4,500 COVID hospitalizations and 375 COVID-related deaths per day. Dan Lieberman has more from New York.
With the rollout of the new bivalent COVID vaccines now underway, the White House COVID-19 response team has a message for Americans 12 and older.
Get your updated COVID-19 shot as soon as you are eligible.
Federal officials say by the end of this week, 90% of Americans will be within a 5-mile radius of the new reformulated vaccines, which combine parts of the original vaccine with components that target Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5. Those strains account for 99% of the circulating virus.
For the first time since December of 2020, these vaccines, our vaccines, have caught up with the virus.
Health experts say, barring a major curveball, it looks like we'll eventually treat COVID like the flu, with a vaccine each year matched to the strains in circulation.
For a large majority of Americans, we are moving to a point where a single annual COVID shot should provide a high degree of protection against serious illness all year.
High-risk Americans, including the elderly, may continue to need more frequent vaccinations. Officials are also calling on Congress for more funding.
We are trying to constantly stay ahead of this. We're trying to be able to look around the corner. It gets tougher and tougher as you get fewer and fewer resources.
The government website that offered free at-home COVID tests has already shut down because of a lack of funding. Dan Lieberman, CBS News, New York.
The new bivalent vaccines will likely become available for children under 12 later this fall. Coming up, do you know all 19 Minnesota state symbols? We'll show you how state staples are added to the exclusive list.
President Biden and his cabinet look to put the pedal to the metal on bills recently signed into law. I'm Natalie Brand with the administration's push ahead of the midterms and Republicans pushing back.
President Biden gathered his cabinet for an end-of-summer meeting at the White House today. An administration official told CBS News the president and his department heads discussed key laws enacted on Mr. Biden's watch, including the bipartisan infrastructure law and the recently signed Inflation Reduction Act. They also talked about the administration's response to the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
In his first cabinet meeting since March, President Biden talked about his administration's plans to implement several major bills he's signed into law this summer, including the sweeping Inflation Reduction Act.
I'm incredibly optimistic about the future that we're building here in this country, but it requires solid work making these laws work. The devil's in the details.
The president also received an update on his administration's response to the Supreme Court's decision overturning Roe v. Wade, striking down the constitutional right to abortion. More than a dozen states have enacted near-total bans on the procedure.
With midterm elections just 2 months away and control of Congress at stake, President Biden has begun traveling to key battleground states. Democrats believe the abortion issue will drive voters to the polls this fall.
In a new Wall Street Journal poll, voters said the Supreme Court ruling on abortion rights is motivating them to cast their ballots more than inflation.
A vote for a Democrat, a vote for myself, is a vote for abortion rights.
I'm, strongly pro-life, but I have 3 exceptions: life of the mother being an important one, rape, and incest.
Some Republican candidates are playing defense on abortion while trying to score points on other issues with their base.
Inflation is running rampant. Crime is out of control.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker polls for the U.S. House and Senate predict much narrower GOP margins than previously expected. Later this week, President Biden heads to Ohio to tout plans for boosting manufacturing. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Another issue Democrats are focused on ahead of the midterms is protecting same-sex marriage. Some have argued the Supreme Court ruling upholding those rights could now be in jeopardy after the conservative high court reversed years of precedent on abortion. A Democratic source in Capitol Hill tells CBS News senior congressional Democrats have been considering linking marriage equality legislation to a continuing resolution to fund the government. Coming up, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz welcomed students back to class earlier today. We'll have more on his message for students and parents for the new school year.
And I'm keeping an eye on the smoke situation. Not a lot in the area quite yet, but that will be changing here. And I'll let you know exactly when we can expect maybe the air quality to drop coming up.
KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox joins us now on a sunny, humid end to this first day of school for many. Sarah, what are you tracking?
Yeah, it's been pretty nice today, I must admit. We started off with the cloud cover, but the sun came out not quite in full force. Still seeing a few of the clouds floating on by right now, but things will end very nicely here as we slip into the evening hours. I am going to zoom things out though and look a little bit further to the west. Difficult to see, but right now we've got some smoke aloft in the area, and that is coming our way, which could affect this right here. Right now, air quality across the area looking fantastic. We are in the green. That's what we like to see. But as some of that wildfire smoke starts to make it our way, we could be slipping into the yellow, the moderate zone. Let's take a peek at the wildfire smoke right now. First off, where are the fires? mostly to the west, the northwest to be exact. And a lot of that smoke has made its way eastward. We can see some of the areas in the red experiencing a little bit thicker of that smoke way high up in the atmosphere. Now, if I push time forward here, we're going to slip into our Thursday, and you'll notice that red, orange, yellow starts to spread over us. So keeping an eye on that here. It looks to stick around too through our Thursday. This is around 4 p.m. and we'll be watching that closely because it could affect once again our air quality, and that could affect sensitive groups if you have any plans to go out here. It is going to be a warm day on that Thursday, tracking a warm up to go along with all of it, a cool down, and then some rain. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and we will touch on it here a little bit later on in the newscast. So Amy, it's all back to you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and several state education officials greeted students and educators at a North Metro area elementary school on their first day this morning. Today is the first day of school for Minneapolis Public Schools. Faculty and staff have been busy making improvements over the summer. The entrance to some of the schools in the district were updated over the summer to make them more secure. In terms of COVID-19 protocols, the district is following closely with CDC guidelines, which currently suggests anyone who tests positive should isolate for 5 days, followed by 5 days of mask wearing. Masks in general and social distancing are optional this year in the district. Governor Walz talked about the importance of getting back in the classroom earlier today.
Our schools are at the heart of our communities. Our schools are what we have our most pride in because we know it's our children's future.
Minneapolis Public Schools, like many districts, is also dealing with a teacher shortage. The district has been busy hiring all summer, right up through the weekend before students return. As of this morning, there are still 270 openings listed on the district's website, with more than 200 teaching positions available. A woman is airlifted after an ATV crash over the weekend in northeastern Iowa. The Winneshiek County Sheriff's Office says it happened in the 1200 block of Highway 150 when the driver, Lori Vickerman, lost control and was thrown from the ATV. Vickerman was taken to a softball field in Festina before she was airlifted. From Minnesota's many lakes to its hearty foods, the state has many well-known symbols, but there are nearly 20 officially designated for the state. So how are these honors determined? Jeff Wagner learned the list of hopefuls is long and a bit quirky.
From the great outdoors to the kitchen, Minnesota symbols surround us.
What state symbols from Minnesota come to mind right away?
10,000 lakes.
An obvious answer, but the bountiful bodies of water are not included in the 19 official state symbols.
What were the ones that immediately came to mind that you know represent Minnesota?
The showy lady slipper.
Lady slipper for flower.
And the loon.
The loon.
Those two, along with walleye as the state fish, might be the most well-known, but there are 16 more.
What's the state drink?
Beer.
I think that's over the border in Wisconsin. It's maybe more of a breakfast drink.
Milk.
A glass of milk.
That would make sense.
What do you think the state grain is?
Wheat.
Not wheat.
It's wild rice, designated in 1977. Honeycrisp apples became the state fruit in 2006.
How does a state symbol come to be?
It's probably voted on by the legislature.
Lawmakers write the bills and vote on them, but they're often inspired by somebody else. Elementary school students propose the blueberry muffin, the monarch butterfly, and hockey as state symbols, all of which passed. But for every symbol that's been approved over the years, there are dozens that didn't make the cut, with their unsuccessful journeys archived at the Minnesota Legislative Reference Library.
Let's see here, folk dance.
In 1992, square dancing failed at becoming the official state folk dance.
I was thinking polka.
It was one of the few things that we in my church were allowed to do, is square dancing.
Here it is. The giant beaver.
The giant beaver and its huge teeth has come up short a few times at becoming the state fossil, while the Blandings turtle lost the race to become the state reptile.
Have you ever heard of booyah?
Yep.
Have you had booyah?
Yes.
Is it good?
Yes.
This is a funny headline. The pot thickens to declare booyah Minnesota stew.
The recipe for the next state symbol is not an exact science.
The Lefse hot dog.
But so long as it honors history,
maybe some Native American recognition,
is ever present,
bike trails,
or is universally loved, it's got a chance.
Going to the lake should be a symbol.
Yeah.
Here are two more Minnesota symbols for you. The Norway pine is recognized as the state tree, and the state gemstone is the agate. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Coming up, a tech giant is set to release new products tomorrow. We'll let you know what Apple might soon be revealing to customers. Plus, a long-lost treat is returning to the menu at McDonald's. We'll tell you about the new item available this fall and when it was last offered.
KIMT News 3, first at 4. Your local news with KIMT News 3's Amy Fleming. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox. This is KIMT News 3. More local news that is happening right now. We are coverage you can count on.
Get ready for a blast from the past at McDonald's, and it's not another appearance of the McRib. Starting next Wednesday for a limited time, the fast food giant is bringing back its cheese Danish. Yes, score. Decades-long disappearance. That's good stuff. The pastry is filled with sweet cream cheese and topped with a buttery streusel and light vanilla drizzle. McDonald's briefly sold the menu item in the 1980s. Now I'm dating myself. Apple will be rolling out new products at its annual September keynote event tomorrow. The company is expected to unveil its new iPhone 14 lineup. The invitation features a night sky with a constellation of stars forming the Apple logo. Some users think there could be camera upgrades for better nighttime or long-distance photography. Customers have the opportunity to tune in for the live stream on Wednesday. The iPhone 14 is expected to be a bit bigger, but slightly slimmer and likely more expensive. The new Apple Watch models will probably be unveiled as well, including a higher-end offering. And there will likely be an official release date for iOS 16. New iPads or Mac computers likely won't be out until October.
Cruise lines are rolling out new ships as the industry looks to keep up with a surge in popularity. I'm Wendy Gillette. I'll take you aboard some of the latest luxury liners.
And it has been nice to soak up some of the sunshine today. Of course, we didn't start out as sunny as what we're seeing over Highway 52 right now. The clouds parted ways, the sun came out, and it's going to be sticking with us. I'll let you know how much it'll help warm us coming up.
We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox joining us now. Very nice day to get out and about if you can. Sarah, what else are you tracking into the evening hours?
Yeah, Amy, no doubt. Like you said, it is a very nice day to get out and about, but it didn't start out that way. We actually started off pretty foggy, which is what you're seeing behind me in Mason City here, as well as cloudy. But let's push time forward, and I do apologize for the gray that does continuously appear there. You really could see the fog that moved through. It burned off as we entered into the afternoon, and now we are getting some nice sunny skies. Tricky to see, though. We've got some of that milky air, the wildfire smoke pretty high up in the atmosphere, kind of giving us that bit of a white shade. But the sun is out. We do have some blue sky, of course, and a lot of the cloud cover has ultimately just moved away. That has allowed us to warm up quite a bit in Mason City, currently sitting at 78 degrees. That's up 6 degrees from where we were this time just yesterday. In Austin, Owatonna, almost at 80, both showing a 7-degree increase. In Rochester, only about 3 degrees, but it's still in the upper 70s at 77 alongside Albert Lee. La Crosse, Algona, some of our warmer cities, already at 81. Now, ultimately, we will top off in the upper 70s today. Not a lot of us getting into the 80s. No, that's going to wait until we get into tomorrow. Yes, a warm-up is on the way. Summer certainly not done with us. Satellite and radar here keeping things nice as we head into these early evening hours. Showing a little bit of cloud cover right now. I do expect a little bit more across the area, though. Just simply we're seeing some partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny. I'll zoom things out, and we can generally see that once again, a lot of us kind of soaking up that sunshine here as we've entered into the afternoon. Now, I mentioned the milky skies, a little bit of smoke, wildfire smoke to be exact, kind of way high up in the atmosphere and a bit in the distance. As you can see, some dark reds as well as some oranges here across the Dakotas, a little further south into Kansas. We'll zoom into our area a little bit. We were in the blue there, and as time moves forward, we'll start to see a little bit more of the thicker smoke come our way, but it's not really until we get into our Thursday that it does spin our way, and we'll probably be experiencing more of those milky skies and even the possibility of our air quality becoming more on the moderate side, where right now it's in the green good. We could move to the yellow moderate. So something important to note for sensitive groups if you have plans to head out on Thursday, because it will overall be a nice day. We've got more sunshine on the way, and yes, more summer-like 80s. Sky Tracker 3 now, looking at the clouds that aren't necessarily here and won't be as we head into the evening hours. Like I said, maybe a cloud here or there, but generally mostly clear as we come into the evening. This is around 9 p.m. Slipping into the overnight, we will start to see a few more clouds begin to appear once again, even the possibility of some fog for our Wednesday morning. But very similar to what we experienced today. This is around 7 a.m. We'll watch these clouds kind of melt away through the morning hours, and ultimately getting into the afternoon, we're back to mostly sunny skies. Again, that's going to help warm us up. That's not the only thing I'm tracking, though, that warm up, the sunshine. I'm also tracking some rain on the way, and with the rain comes some cooler temperatures. Chances for rain do start to increase Friday evening through our Saturday. So watching it, looking to be more scattered showers than anything when it comes to storms, but it is, of course, worth keeping an eye on. And as we head into tonight, no need to worry about the rain. Mostly clear skies. We'll be getting near 60 degrees tomorrow. There it is, back into the 80s under the mostly sunny skies. And now let's check it out here on the 7-day forecast, where the weekend is always in view. 80s followed by a quick cool down on Friday, and then a major cool down for the weekend, where we see those chances for showers for Saturday. Check it out though, highs only in the upper 60s. All right, Amy, back to you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. The cruise industry is recovering after the pandemic, rolling out a couple dozen new ships this year. In the past few days, most of the major lines also relaxed their COVID rules on testing and unvaccinated passengers. Wendy Gillette reports from the MSC Seashore on what passengers can expect.
To another great celebrity cruise.
Chuck McKay is sailing to the Greek islands with his wife and friends aboard Celebrity Beyond. The new ship launched in the spring, enticing travelers with a 2-story sun deck, expanded rooftop garden, and French chef Danielle Balloud's first restaurant at sea.
I am very excited to be on here because we're able to see all the new stuff that's just been added to the ship.
This week, Celebrity and other lines loosened their COVID protocols. no longer requiring vaccinated passengers to test before most cruises, and allowing unvaccinated passengers who must test before boarding.
It's time to transition into the next phase, and that's what the world is doing, and that's what we're finally doing.
Companies hemorrhaged tens of billions of dollars during the pandemic, and now industry trade groups see the tide shifting. Cruise Lines International Association predicts passenger numbers will exceed pre-pandemic levels next year.
Future is bright, industry is growing, guests are coming back, so we're all very happy.
Disney added its fifth and largest ship, Disney Wish, to the fleet this summer. And the biggest ship in the world, Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, began sailing in March.
They continue to innovate, and with that they shape different experience for different travelers.
There's also this new ship sailing out of Miami, the Seashore, from MSC Cruises, a line that's better known in Europe than the U.S.
We have 140,000 square feet of outdoor space. This is enormous, and I think it's one of the biggest at sea.
We got a reduced rate to sail aboard Beyond and the family-friendly Seashore, which boasts a water slide, infinity pool, and specialty restaurants. The line will launch 2 more ships later this year as it steams ahead. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
MSC is a family-owned company. It's the largest container shipping line in the world and the 3rd biggest cruise line. Still to come, Med City Elementary School students return for their first day of school. KIMT News 3's Jessica Bringy is live with some of the highlights as classes start again.
Yep, I can hear you. I don't have my TV or live view on yet, but I can turn it on if need be. Oh, you do? I didn't think I turned it on. Maybe I didn't turn it off. Shoot. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm in my car. Cool. All right. There continues to be good news after Labor Day for the prices you're paying at the pump. In Olmsted County, drivers are paying an average of $3.67 a gallon at the pump. About 4 months ago, prices were sitting at $4.23 per gallon. In Cerro Gordo County, drivers are paying over a quarter less at $3.25 on average. 4 months ago, prices in Cerro Gordo County were at $4.16 per gallon. For the latest gas prices locally, you can check out the gas tracker. It's on our website, KIMT.com. A man accused of having sex with a teenager in Mason City is pleading guilty. 25-year-old Tavian Coleman of Mason City has pleaded guilty to 1 count of third-degree sexual abuse. Law enforcement says Coleman had a sexual relationship with a victim under the age of 16 during November and December of 2021. His sentencing is scheduled for October 24th.
And the sun is shining bright. That's not how it's always been today, though. The clouds opened up, giving us this beautiful sunshine. which will be sticking with us. But will it help these temperatures climb? I will let you know right after this.
Time now for a weather update. Let's check in with KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox. Hey, Sarah, how's the evening shaping?
Yeah, Amy, things are looking good for this evening. If you've been waiting for the sunshine, well, we have plenty of it now. Check out Rochester, just a few beautiful clouds floating on by. Those fair weather cumulus clouds don't plan on bringing us any rainfall. It's going to be a fantastic evening to get out and about. Definitely a good one if you've been missing going for a bike ride, walk around the neighborhood, you know, those typical evening things we do after a day of work. Satellite and radar here showing off the cloud cover, ultimately disappearing for the most part across the area. Some of us still dealing with some cloud cover, more partly cloudy to mostly sunny across the area than mostly cloudy. Love to hear it. Now, as I zoom things out, once again, a lot of us really enjoying the sunny skies, and the sunshine has helped temperatures go up. 79 currently in Owatonna, Austin, Dodge Center, 77 in Rochester. We've got some 78s on the board in Mason City, Preston. Check out Cresco, breaking the 80-degree ceiling there, getting to 80 exactly. These temperatures won't necessarily be going up much more here as we go into the evening hours. In fact, they'll be sliding on down. But as we head into tomorrow, a warm-up is on the way, and then a pretty dramatic cool down. We'll be talking all the details on that later on in this newscast. So Amy, it's all back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Have you had itchy eyes lately? Are you sneezing more often? Well, you may be suffering from late summer and early fall allergies due to high pollen levels in the Midwest. According to an allergist at Allina Health, ragweed pollen is typically the worst offender in this area because of its prevalence in the region. Plus, it can travel in the air for upwards of 200 miles. If you're susceptible to ragweed allergies,